We got Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall. We have conservative columnist Jedediah Bila and Fox Business's Tracy Burns. Jedediah, first to you. Is Charles right?
Absolutely. First of all, let me say, someone has to say it, so it may as well be me. The deal stinks, okay? Republicans did not have to compromise on this issue. We just had a landslide victory for the GOP in the 2010 elections. Republicans needed to stick to their guns. That's what the American people were counting on. And yes, you know, these tax rates needed to be extended for everyone, but not at the expense of ballooning our deficit. They just made a promise to people that they were going to cut, you know, the deficit, not add on to it. So I think Krauthammer is absolutely correct.
All right. Leslie, what about you? Now, Krauthammer says that, in fact, some of all this is going over the heads of people like Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer and even Anthony Weiner is a pretty smart guy. Do you buy that? Do you think that Obama's outsmarting them?
It's not that he's outsmarting them. I do agree with Charles somewhat, but a little different wording. Not seeing the forest through the trees. Sometimes we hold on to something so tight that we forget what we're holding on to.
Right.
And honestly, at first, I thought, what are you doing, Mr. President? Oh, my God, we're doomed. Then I slept on it, David. Woke up in the morning and I thought, this is brilliant. He just got the Republicans to agree to massive spending. Yep. He cannot lose in this. He can blame left, he can blame right. It goes to everyone but him, and he's gained a lot of support from people on the right and independents, and he's helped a lot of American people along the way and kept them happy. I think it's a brilliant move, and Charles, I'm now a new fan that Bill Clinton has complimented.
You're killing his career, Leslie. You realize that and his NPR. Well, what about the $1 trillion spending over 2 years? I mean, I'd heard about $200 billion as a result of the unemployment insurance over a couple of years, but $1 trillion? Does Charles have his figures right?
Yeah, and you know what it's like? It's like paying for a filet mignon and getting a burger at McDonald's, because that's what we're getting at the end of the day. We get a measly 2-year extension. Jedi is right. They caved. They caved. President Obama secured...
Not yet, however. We should say that there may be changes happening over the weekend. The Senate is going to be debating
and they
this all
typically
weekend.
make grand decisions over the weekend so that people like you and I have to come to work. But so you have Republicans that could have said, we want a permanent extension. Truth is, they should wait till January and fight for that permanent extension. But you have a president that just secured his re-election because he came to the middle.
Well, Jedediah,
and we're paying for it.
Are we going to have Senator DeMint and Congressman Campbell and other Republicans who are against this thing going to stand up and say, forget about it, this is too much money?
I hope so. I certainly hope so. And I commend Michelle Bachmann for speaking her mind, Jim DeMint. I commend Sarah Palin today, who came out in support of Paul Ryan's roadmap, which I think is fantastic. I think they need to. Somebody needs to stand by principle, and somebody needs to say, stop spending money we don't have. Plain and simple.
All right, ladies, thank you very much. Coming up on deck, a woman's heart-wrenching story about the failures of Obamacare. No